Hello and welcome to creating an internal transaction initiator or ITI transaction in AZ360. We will be demonstrating this process in one of our test environments and the screen has been zoomed in for optimal viewing. In our test scenario, a user receives a request to transfer $500 from agency EVA to ADA for carpet cleaning performed by the ADA General Services Division. Acting as the first party responsible for the ITI transaction, we will create and submit an ITI transaction to start the two-transaction process of ITI and ITA, ITA being Internal Transaction Agreement. Note that this is the first of 3 video tutorials illustrating this overall process. Observe that we are already logged into the AZ360 application, and the General Accounting business role has been selected in the top right of the screen. To get started, we will navigate to the global search menu, ensure that page code has been checked off. In the search here menu, we will enter ITI and we'll select Internal Transaction Initiator from the drop-down that generates. On the financial transaction page, we will click Create. And on the Create Transaction page, we will enter our department 3-digit code, in this case ADA, as they will be initiating the ITI transaction, checking off auto numbering and then clicking Continue. A new ITI transaction will open to the Header tab. On the Header tab General Information section, we will enter the reason for the transaction in the transaction description. In this case, it will be requesting funds for services provided to another agency. Okay. We will be entering the fiscal year of 2023 in this example. This is because we are in the training environment and this is a required field for the transaction to validate successfully. Note that users in the production environment, which is the majority of our users, will not have to enter the fiscal year as this value will default when creating any new transaction. In the Initiator field, we will verify that provider and seller are checked off as well. Note that this is the default value. Okay. Next, we will navigate to the Accounting tab. In the line amount field, we will enter the amount of the transaction, which would be $500. In the department field, we will enter the department initiating this two-transaction process, the ITI-ITA process, so in this case ADA. In the revenue field, we will be entering 4632. We will then click the Expand caret, and in the event type field, we will use the pick list and select INZ3, Expenditure to Revenue Transfer. Okay, keep in mind if users have any confusion over which event type or COA elements to enter on the ITI to ITA process, we strongly recommend that they review the ITI Transaction tab section of the General Accounting Manual, which contains a table highlighting the available options. It's a very helpful resource and we recommend you review that if needed. Okay, go ahead and click the COA section, and then we will be filling in a function. In this case, we will be using function ALLOC00010. Okay. We will validate the transaction to check for errors. The transaction has validated successfully, and we will submit the transaction to our next line approver. Okay. And we have completed the process of creating an internal transaction initiator or ITI transaction in AZ360. The next training video in this 3-part series will deal with copying forward this completed ITI transaction to an ITA transaction. Feel free to click the home icon to return to the home page.